Alright, so today I'm going to be trying some new drugstore makeup. It's an interesting video. Let's just say I'm happy to have two eyeballs right now. You know when you're like catching up with a friend and so much has happened in life that you don't even know where to start? That's how I feel about the intro of this video. So I will leave you at that. There were some hits in this video. There were definitely some misses. So if you're excited and you enjoy while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Alright, I have switched to bubbly because I've had about 4 cups of coffee today, even though I don't feel like it at all. I feel like I've had like 2 sips. But it's about 6 p.m. now. This is the second video I'm filming today, so I just listened to a shit ton of 50 Cent and got your music recommendations on Instagram for like hype up songs. And now we are here. We made it. So we're gonna start off with a new release from the Ulta Beauty brand. This is the Cool Committee Cooling Jelly Face Primer infused with green tea extract. So I'm hoping this is going to be like a little bit redness correcting. It seems like it will because it has this kind of like green tint to it. But it says it has rice silk powder to work to moisturize and help reduce appearance of pores. So typically products with rice tend to be a little bit oil absorbing. Okay. Oh, it feels very lightweight and like silky. Whoa. Really strong scent. Like, it smells like it could be a body lotion. Usually, I'm not a fan of heavily scented products like this. You know who does the friggin' worst at fragrance? Huda Beauty. What is happening with that brand and their fragrance? It could honestly knock you out. This is very heavily scented, and I wish it wasn't because it actually does feel cooling, which I really like. And it also feels moisturizing, even though it was feeling kind of just like more of a silky primer when I first put it on. Now that it's on my skin, it actually has a little bit of like a tacky feel to it. And it feels almost like a gel moisturizer the way it dried down. It's giving a pretty glow. To me, it doesn't look like it did anything to reduce the appearance of pores, which is one of its claims. But it does feel cooling. I feel very refreshed all of a sudden, which I needed, so thank you, Ulta. Okay, next up is another new release from the Ulta Beauty brand. So this is the Effortless Effect Medium Coverage Hydrating Foundation. I got the shade Fair Cool. It has a twist off and a squeeze tube. It looks pretty thick. Oh wow, this looks weird. Wait, I'm really confused. It looks like it's gonna be way darker on the palette. It's not looking great blending out so far. It's looking like a bit streaky. I'm gonna take my sponge and just press over top to blend it out. Kind of press it into the skin a bit more since it is sitting a little bit funky. It doesn't seem to want to really like go into my skin. It's kind of just sitting on top. Highlight coverage, low medium coverage. I'm going to try just a sponge on the other side. See if it applies any better. Do you see how like weirdly patchy and it's just like lifting up every time I go to blend it out? Similar kind of thing happens with the brush. It just is streaky. Oh man. What is this foundation? What the heck? Could be maybe the primer, but the foundation itself has like a very sticky, thick formula. So that's just dried down like immediately, like it's dried. So I'm gonna try and use the brush to kind of smooth that out. Oh, this looks awful. So this was supposed to be, wasn't this dewy? Hydrating foundation. To me, this doesn't feel or look like a hydrating foundation at all. It definitely feels very thick and heavy. I can definitely feel this one on my skin. So I wouldn't say this is hydrating whatsoever. I think I'm going to take a little bit of the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Foundation. I really love this foundation just to kind of like smooth everything over. I'm just going to use a sponge and kind of go over this. Thank you, Makeup Revolution. Saving the day. Okay, so I was going to just skip concealer because I didn't have a new launch, but the other day I was going through my concealers and I kind of pulled a few out to try and like keep on my desk so I remember to try them more. And one of them was the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. I'm pretty sure this one came out within, I want to say like the last year or so, maybe even more recently. This is in the shade 100 Pure Ivory. I don't remember what I think of this and I want to test it a little bit more, so we're going to use it today. Ooh, it's yellow. By the way, some of you were asking to be more zoomed in when I did my makeup on the new camera, so we are zoomed in today. Hope you like it. Let me know what you think. I don't love that. I still have a lot of darkness coming through right here. I do have a couple new powders to try. So Ulta came out with these two Tea Almighty Correcting Face Powder infused with tea tree oil. Anytime I see a white powder like this, I just really like using white powders to mix with other powders for my under eyes, or if you have very fair skin, you could obviously just use the white powder if you would need to really brighten and lighten under there. And they also came out with this Zen powder, skin balancing face powder infused with zeolite. What the heck is zeolite? So I think what I'm going to do is just mix these two for my under eyes. So that one feels soft. So I'm just going to use my brush and like dip into both of these and mix them. Okay, I think the darker one is a bit too dark, so I'm kind of just using just this now, since it isn't super opaque. Why? Wait, oh, what's happening? It feels like something that should not be around your eyeball. Oh, because the tea tree. Oh, shit. Yeah, it feels, pretty cooling, and I feel like I should probably go wash my eyeball. I did not think about that with a tea tree. Bad move, Taylor. I'll be back after this situation is figured out. We will resume. Okay, so don't do what I did. It does say caution, discontinue if irritation occurs, but it doesn't say anything about like avoiding your eye area or anything, which I'm kind of surprised about. I guess maybe that's just like common sense. Don't put tea tree oil near your eyeballs. My bad, but I feel like some other people might try and use that, especially since it's like a light colored powder. So I kind of like used a tissue and wiped off all the powder, or tried to like brush it off and then just went over it with other powder to set my under eyes. I definitely still feel this one. I think it's fine. I kind of feel like I should probably try and save my eyeball, you know? Yeah, my eye's still like watering more. Okay, am I gonna wash off my whole face right now? I think so. We're back from a little intermission, and fantastic news, I still have 2 eyeballs. So I washed my whole face, tried to like rinse out my eye, put in eye drops, redid my base, and now we're here. Just avoid this, don't do it. So I actually had bought a second powder that I wanted to try. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Loose Setting Powder. I didn't think this was new, but apparently it is, or it said so on Ulta's website. This is in 612 Translucent Light Medium. I'm going to try this for under my eyes to set my concealer and for parts of my face, I think. I also am going to wash that brush. I'm not using that same brush for my under eyes just in case there's any of that powder left over. So looking at this side versus this side, obviously that just darkened it about 2 shades probably. It's looking a little bit too dark now, so I'm gonna have to go over that with something to brighten it. The finish of it doesn't look bad. The shade is just too dark. I'm just gonna add a touch of lighter powder just to brighten it up a bit. I do want to try that L'Oreal powder though for the rest of my face too. I don't like to powder my forehead a whole lot. I might do a little bit by my hairline, but I'm definitely gonna do around my cheeks right here. I'm gonna do around my pores too, just because I'm curious if this one blurs at all. So this side definitely looks very matte now down here. It doesn't seem to have lifted a whole lot of the coverage. I think the coverage looks about the same. As far as loose powders, I don't hate this one. I don't think it looks super blurring, but it doesn't look bad. Like it looks about the same as this side, just a little bit more matte. I think now my upper lip looks too dark. This is a shit show of a video, you guys. I'm gonna use that same lighter powder to kind of brighten up the center of my face, hopefully. Let's put on some brows using the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. I didn't have any new releases for blush, bronzer, or highlight, but I'm just going to do them with you guys on camera. Anyways, I'm just going to use my Makeup Revolution. I love this one in the shade Savannah Nights. It's a darker shade and it is extremely pigmented, so you need to use a like very fluffy brush and just tap one time, and that's like enough. Just love the tone of it because it's a little bit of like a deeper red tone, so it's not too orangey. I haven't tried this blush before. It's Rimmel Maxi Blush in the shade Third Base. Rimmel blushes are pretty hit or miss. There's a few that are really pretty and then some of them are like, what's happening here? Okay, that looks pretty. It just looks like a wash of pink. I discovered this in the video where I tested other people's 2020 favorites or 2019 favorites. This is Revolution Just My Type highlight. This was Shan Shortcake's Beauty, and this was Shan Shortcake's Shan Shortcake Beauty's favorite. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my god. Look at that. By the way, I still can't put back in my nose piercing yet, but I don't know. I'm kind of like debating just leaving it out at this point. I think I would have to get it re-pierced because like I told you guys in one of the other videos, I tried to stick it in the other day on accident. Didn't know I couldn't yet. And it was like, I basically had to re-pierce it. You can still see like the little hole there though. This highlight is magical. So I'm gonna prime using ColourPop's No Filter Concealer. This is in the white shade, obviously. As far as drugstore eye primers, I would say this and the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind are probably my favorite, even though neither of those are technically primers, but they're just concealers that you can use as an eyeshadow base, and I find that those work the best. So these are what I'm really excited to try out. They're 2 new eyeshadow palette launches from the drugstore. This Milani one in Most Wanted. I really love these kind of like tinier palettes that are just easy to travel with, easy to throw in your makeup bag, and that have really good basic shades. And then this one is the Nudes of New York by Maybelline in 01. Obviously I need to use this shade. That looks friggin' beautiful. Ooh, these look pretty. I might just do like a fully matte look. I'm kind of feeling it. Almost like fall tones, like really warm matte. So I'm gonna start out with this shade right here, this tan one, and put it into the crease. By the way, this brush looks pinky orange. It's just stained. It's clean. Ooh, that is a pretty crease shade. It's like a sandy tan. Ooh, this is like a really nice neutral crease shade. Like I would use this on a daily basis. It doesn't look too warm. Next, I'm gonna take this shade Explorer using the Sigma E25. This is a little bit of a smaller blending brush, and apply that tiny bit lower, but still into the crease, just to deepen it up. These are really pigmented. I feel like these feel like a different formula than most Maybelline shadows. They're definitely feeling a little bit less powdery and more pigmented. I don't mind the normal formula of Maybelline ones. Like one of my go-tos is the Maybelline City Mini palette right here, but this one's definitely much more powdery. Still love it, still use it all the time, but this formula feels very different. Like look how pigmented that is. I think I actually am just gonna bring this all over my lid because that shade is so pretty. Next, I'm going to go back with the Morphe M511 fluffier brush and take the shade Creator and apply that above to blend. These feel completely different, like a totally different formula. Going back in with Explorer. I just want this really blended and smoky. So I'm just kind of going back over and emphasizing that. Then I'm going to take that Globetrotter shade, which is a super pretty looking like auburn burnt red, maroon, whatever it is. Oh my God. I need to put that all over my face. That is so pretty. And just taking that Sigma brush again with nothing on it, I'm just kind of blending out the top right here. Dude, these are good. Whatever the heck you did with this formula, Maybelline, you need to do it with the rest of the eyeshadows you'll ever make. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here and just bring it a little bit towards the inner part of my eye. Okay, I'm freaking loving this palette, the matte shades at least. Obviously, I haven't tried any of the shimmers in here. So I'm still going to use more of these shades on my lower lash line, but first I'm going to go in with I actually have 2 new eyeliners to try. One liquid and then one pencil. So first I'm going to go with this pencil one from Pixi. It's their Endless Silky Eye Pen. Love a good super black eyeliner that stays on the waterline. Ooh, holy crap, that is super black. That looks like the NARS pencil. Okay, that is super creamy, very black, and took about 1 second to get that black of a line. I'm gonna bring this a little bit underneath my eye as well and smudge it out using a brush in a second. I don't know why I'm doing this first actually. Normally I do top liner first. I'm just gonna take a really tiny brush, this is the M515, and use that to blend. It looks like it has a little bit of a blue tint to it actually. It looks kind of like dark blue when you start to blend it. So I don't know if I would blend this one or use it for like smudging, but on the waterline it does look black. So I'm gonna go back in with Voyager, which we haven't tried yet. It's the deepest brown shade in here. Almost looks like a little bit purpley, and just go right over that black liner. I'm gonna go back in with Globetrotter, that really pretty red shade, and go right back over it. So this is a new eyeliner launch from Maybelline. It's the Hyper Easy, that's it. On the packaging, it shows like a really flexible brush tip, which I feel like sometimes for me can be more difficult to work with because then you don't have as much control. I like a brush tip over felt, but I feel like the Physicians Formula Eye Booster is like the perfect amount of bendiness for me. So we'll see how this one compares, but it doesn't say it's waterproof or anything. Oh yes, it does. It is waterproof. Just the outside of this, it feels like it's gonna be pretty slim. Oh, okay. I'm excited. Oh, okay, so far it's gliding on really easily. It's gliding on like my Physicians Formula, and it looks very black. I think I am gonna do a wing today. Okay, love that. Right in my outer corner right now, my eye is still watering, I think, from that tea tree crap. So that isn't the eyeliner, that's just like my eye watering and pushing the eyeshadow and stuff out. But that was super easy to create that wing, and I love how just black it is and how easy that was. Got a little bit of smudge right there on my inner corner. So I think this is one that you need to like, oh yeah, So that's interesting because this is supposed to be waterproof, but sometimes the eyeliner has to like set fully. I have another eyeliner that does this, but if you get it anywhere near like your tear duct or anything before it's dry, then it can do this kind of thing where it just like slides down, which can make it difficult if you're doing like a cat eye or you're someone who likes to bring it in really far, or if you have really watery tear ducts. But usually with this kind of eyeliner, after it's dried down, then it kind of sets. It's just as it's drying down that you have to be careful. I'm just using that eyeshadow to try and like cover that a little bit. So this eyeliner, I am pumped to try again, besides where my eye is watering. Love the way that went on. Love how black it looks. I have this new mascara to try from Rimmel. It's their Wonder Luxe Volume. It says it's infused with 4 luxurious oils. Let's hope there's no tea tree in here, you know what I'm saying? Says full-bodied volume. Sounds good to me. Looks like it has a pretty flexible wand here. It kind of like bends at the tip. Okay, so far this one is adding a lot of length. It looks pretty natural, but it is creating some length and separation. I personally like a little bit more volume. I wouldn't really call this one volumizing. Let's try a second coat. Oh, okay. Also keep in mind, it's hard to see when you have like a thicker wing on. It's hard to actually see the lashes and what they look like since it's being basically a third covered by eyeliner from my angle. Let me see if I can. They're looking pretty good on that second coat. I do want to see how it looks layered with my Essence Lash Princess. Actually, you know what? I have another Lash Princess that I've been wanting to try. This is the volume version. Whoa, what is this wand? What is happening there? Okay. Whoa, okay, this is adding a ton of volume. Holy moly. So weird that holy moly just made my mind go to guacamole and now I'm craving Chipotle all within about 5 seconds. Okay, this is looking pretty bomb layered. Let me do from the side. So it's adding a ton of volume with those 2 layered. Okay, that was the last of the new products to try. So I don't have a lip product. So I'm just going to use ColourPop Cookie, which I haven't used in, I don't even remember the last time. I used to love this shade though. Oh man, the scent of this, throwing it back. Okay, really want to try this gloss again. I know it's not technically drugstore, but it is pretty affordable. It's from Alamar Cosmetics. It's in the shade Chula. It's the one I used in the same video I talked about with testing other people's favorites. And I had to wipe it off in that video, so I want to see in this video what I think. Okay, that's a really pretty like peachy shade. I've noticed it does transfer on the teeth a little bit, so you do have to kind of blot. But this is the final look, testing some new drugstore makeup. I feel like this was a roller coaster of a video. Started at the bottom, now we're here, you know what I'm saying? So these are obviously a big no. The L'Oreal Infallible Loose Powder I don't not like, which is always a good step in trying loose powders for me because most of them just look horrible right off the bat. I like that it isn't looking cakier, it just kind of like mattified everything, but it doesn't look bad and it didn't seem to lift up a lot of the coverage. Obviously there were a couple main standouts in this video I feel. This is friggin' phenomenal. Whoa, I'm dropping it. I'm so excited. Get this just for the matte shades, you guys. The matte shades are beautiful. It almost reminds me of like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, just the way that they blend out and the pigmentation and the color payoff and the color itself. It is a rare day that I really like a liquid eyeliner. I've used my Physicians Formula Eye Booster for years now. I love the waterproof version. However, I feel like this guy might be a close second. I'm gonna continue testing this, see how it wears for a full day. I'll update you guys in the description box down below what I think of it after wearing it a few more times and see if the waterproof claim is true and if it stays on my outer corner. So far, I am impressed with this guy. Also impressed with the Pixie eyeliner, super black, and it just glided on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful or entertaining, or just learned to never put tea tree oil powder around your eyeballs. If you take one thing away from this video, that can be it. I'll have everything I used on my face and tried today linked down below in the description box. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.